my style. You ain't know this game. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. You don't even know my pain. You can't even match my style. You don't even know this game. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah, 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 yeah. Been in this thing for a while. Been in this thing for a while. Yeah.
Spike Lee, what up? You and Animal Brown were talking about what's her name, Sexy Red or whatever her name was.
Yeah,
right.
Booty Hole Brown. I just call her Booty Hole Brown.
That is keep that to yourself, please. No.
You talking about Booty Hole Brown, girl?
That's crazy. That's every time I hear that, that is wild to me. But Animal Brown, I know this sounds like an off-deck classic, another week in the books, but Animal Brown was saying something interesting where he was like, you know, black people, this is that type of black person that black people want to act like don't still exist. And I thought it was interesting. I was thinking about kind of sophistication a little bit, right?
Okay.
Us as a people. And I was thinking about you and thinking about myself. Would you consider yourself having like a certain kind of, and I don't know, maybe that's not the word for it, because I was thinking about my own personal sophistication with certain things where it's like, I don't know if that's like standards or respect or moral. I don't know what it is I'm getting at, but like, do you consider yourself?
Class.
Class. I guess, yeah, this class is probably the best way.
Hell yeah. I've been like that since I was young too. Like my mom taught me that though. My mom is considered bougie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the classic bougie.
Yeah, light skin, pretty. I think she got labeled with that from my grandma, her mom, and kind of just carried that on with her. And I think I said this on here before, but I never it took me longer to understand it from when my mom told me. She was talking about, we were walking through the mall one day. I just like what I like. So we had the flea markets in Nashville and they had the clothes and shit at the flea market. My mom would never buy me that shit ever. Like, nigga, don't even ask for nothing down here. We down here to get food and cheap random shit. You don't wear no clothes from the fucking flea market. Like that early. I'm talking about 7, 6, nigga, when you don't even like, why? Nigga, it's a jacket. The jacket got my team on it. I want to wear it. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And we was in the mall one day and the mannequin had the Timberlands on. I'll never forget this. The mannequin had like Timberlands on, Tommy Hilfiger. She's like, that's what you want to wear right there. That bullshit that you asking for down at the flea market. You ain't gonna want that when you get older. And she was right. I kind of always remembered that. It stuck with me. I didn't know why then, but I used that to segue into what you were talking about with class. It's a certain way that you carry yourself, but people know what you cool with, and what you ain't. Like, I'm the homeboy where motherfuckers would be like, nah, bro, you ain't getting that off around Lou. Like, we might as well go do that over here. Because if we got to go over Lou's spot and do it, then he going to have a problem with it, be trying to put us out. Like, no. So, yeah, there is a certain type of class or whatever word that you may be looking for, but there are like separatisms between, and you hold yourself to that. Like, people, once you carry yourself like that, people start to respect that. Like, it was something today that irritated the shit out of me that they got to do with this. And so the job that I work at, we had to go into the office today. And I'm not the most successful person at that job by any means. Like, the people that are better at it than I am. But the best person at it, like, we talking, he was like, man, they go the richest nigga here right there. What's up, rich nigga? Talking to me. And I'm like, well, bro, and then another nigga said, this nigga got all that money. He ain't got to worry about being good at what we do here. Like, he rich anyway. And I think that goes to say with what you're talking about with class. Like, I'm always going to carry myself like I got it if I don't or not. And I didn't realize how much that people picked up on that. I ain't realize how people picked up on how much I like, my shoes going to be clean every time. Like, this shirt going to say like something that you want. It ain't gonna be no knockoff bullshit. Like this backpack is gonna be Gucci. Like, and I'm not doing that purposely for other people to see it and be like, oh, I want to be like him. I'm doing it because I have a certain amount of class. Like, these are my standards.
Yeah, your standards.
It ain't nothing to, and it's my standards. I ain't telling the nigga you got to do this to be cool. I ain't telling the nigga you got to do this to hang around me. I'm just letting you know what I do. And then people start to see that, and they say what they say, and you know.
Yeah, I
seen your face when I said that. What would you look like that for?
I was just thinking about. I've definitely been like the knockoff guy. Like I don't know if I talked about it on the fashion episode, but I definitely was the knockoff.
What do you mean when you say knockoff? Like knockoff Jordan, not Jordan.
Yeah, knockoff. I had to knock off Jay's. I wasn't like crazy with it. Where like, see, my knockoff. This is like super left field, but my knockoff was like, yo, let me get really close to it. Like I was never the go completely out of the box and make people notice your stuff is knockoff. I was like, yo, quiet as kept. Like I can get this off. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I could see that though, because don't take this the wrong way. Yeah. But like that was unacceptable in my hood. Like, bro, you can't even go outside with that shit on. Niggas is gonna flame you up, and we was outside around niggas. It was joke sessions on whatever somebody porch or whatever corner or whatever store we standing in front of. Like, nigga, if you come out here with some fake, like whatever it is, oh man, you getting roasted.
No, that's
just the generation that I grew up in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the way I carried myself, where it was believable that it wasn't. That was kind of the thing, you know what I mean? Like that's a part of it. Like I had to put a whole little demeanor together to carry this on, because everything I didn't have all fake shoes, like, but within that there would be a couple little floaters between, you know, until I finally
had some real Air Forces, some fake Jordans,
like
real New Balances. Yeah, niggas didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, press the other day, like why would these Jordans be fake?
You know what I'm saying? Definitely did that, but like as I got older, I do agree. It was just something.
That shit was unacceptable around us, bro.
No, I hear you. I've
like,
seen
not even
dudes
would you only
bad.
get joked on, like your homeboys, like when you're in close quarters, like because you play video game, like bro, you ain't gonna wear that bitch, bro.
You retire, bro. You retire on the spot, like you like I ain't wearing them no more. They'll sit there in that closet, bro.
Throw these away. Throw them away. But yeah, class it definitely exists. People feeling like they're better than, whether it be because of clothes or whether it be because of whatever, how people act, attitudes. But yeah, it definitely exists. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, I'm just because I kind of was just thinking about like kind of like class sophistication, because I was even super low tier here, but like I was just thinking about like my type of humor, and I was just like, I think I have a certain kind of sophisticated humor when it comes, you know, like how the jokes are set up, and that's why I kind of was going in my head.
That's good to take it away from money. That is a really good example, taking it away from money, because there's certain levels of humor. Like there's highbrow humor, and there's very lowbrow physical comedy. I gotta fall or kick something or act like I'm
cuss
hurt,
words,
somebody to laugh. Or there's this real subtle, sarcastic, like. It might go over most people's heads. That was a really good example right there. That's
what I was definitely on. I just, because I was like stuff to be like, man, check this out. This is funny. I'm like, it's not funny to me, and it's not even because I think, and we can intro the show, but I think why it's like that, not just humor, but in general, is because I respect effort into creative process, and when I don't feel it doesn't resonate with me that there was real effort in that creative process of the final product, it's not fly to me. Like it's just not fly to me. Like, so however you setting up your jokes, like Dave Chappelle had that joke and he set it up and he told them the joke on the front end, and then he set up this whole story, came back, he said, see, I even told y'all the joke. I even told y'all the punch.
At the very beginning.
At the very beginning.
Y'all ain't gonna get it until I tell you at the end.
Exactly. So it's like that type of thing, or when it podcasts, when you put it like, that's why I'm a respecter of like art in a certain way where, you know, it has a sophistication to it. But I don't know. I was just thinking about that, and I have more to talk about that, but we can probably.
What
talk
did it
about
have to do with Sexy Red? You don't think she's sophisticated? You think that black people think they better than her?
Well, what it has to do with Sexy Red, it's kind of two different pieces of the conversation. But what it has to do with her, I was just more so thinking like the realization is like sometimes you don't realize where you're at. And I don't mean location. I mean in the time and space of your life.
Well, you had in your life, yeah.
I used to be getting slapped so bad. Like there's stories of me like going home and I'm on the porch and I'm so slapped. I'm leaning almost like about to fall off the porch, trying to knock on the door. You know what I mean? There's these moments, I got blackout moments. So still to this day, homies would tell me like, "Hey, yo, bro, you remember that?" It's like, bro, I don't remember that. These are pieces of my life.
I done been there before.
Bro, pieces of my life. It's like black. So I look back now and realize it's like, bro, I didn't know where I was at. And I think I said all that to say with her, now I'm older and I know where I'm at. I try to carry myself with class, sophistication. So I think with her, I was just saying that people give her a little more grace. She don't really know where she at. And she gonna tell you she do because she's famous and y'all gonna say she do. She probably don't know where she at. Like that's kind of, it was just a little thought I was thinking about. That was it.
Yeah. You got to grow into those spots.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lucky enough to stay there long enough, you do have to grow and mature into those.
Yeah.
Like when Jay-Z first started getting big looks, it was like he did shit to embarrass himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? All of the big stars, like you see them and you see like maybe the clothes that they wear, some stuff that they said, they wouldn't dare say now that they have more knowledge of their situations, like you said. And it take a while. It take a while to understand.
Yeah, it do. You live and learn, bro.
But this is another week in the books. This is episode 50. Congratulations, Mo, to you, to me, to this episode, to this show. Getting 50 weeks in the book. Over a year strong. Two guys that met on the internet for their passion of podcasting and giving you some real black man elevated talk, high level conversations. Mo, what you got to say about episode 50?
Man, it is an honor and it is a pleasure. And I know we probably it probably comes out like we celebrate a lot here, but we celebrate.
You have to celebrate the wins, bro.
But you got to celebrate the wins, the little milestones. So 50 episodes strong is huge. My old podcast, when my bros that is in the vault, I still have the episodes on the drive. We got up to 25 episodes, so I've already doubled that podcast.
I'm coming up on my 10,000 hour, man. My 10,000th hour. They say it take 10,000 hours to do something, to be an expert at it.
Yeah.
With all the podcasts and the variety of stuff that I've been doing since we started On Deck, to this, to the dead end stuff, to good earners, to frames per second. I'm coming up on hour 10,000, man. I'm proud to be here.
Yes, sir. And that is fire as well. So we got something special for y'all this episode. It will be the first launch of Another Week in the Books on YouTube. So y'all go ahead and subscribe now to the YouTube. We will be having some shorts on the Instagram page and our personal pages. But we just want to expand the brand, and this is the next step. So y'all, we need all of our bookworms step up. You know what I mean? Like, we really want to grow this thing. We need y'all. We want more exposure. There's probably more black men that can benefit, even black women that can benefit from this show. And we want to make sure that it's getting to all of the ears that need this, because this is going to be something, as one of the brothers said, revolutionary. So, we want to continue to keep the revolution going forward on this, black man growth, man. So episode 50, here we are, man.
Absolutely, man. The revolution will be podcasted. Shout out my guy J Ho for coining that phrase, and we're gonna live into it.
You gotta get him on the show.
Yeah, he's scared, man. J Ho's scared to come.
Come on, Jay. I seen him post him the other day. I was like, man, we gotta. I can't tell you how much I can't wait for you.
You got some questions for him?
For y'all too, like just to, I just wanna. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Jay probably one of those dudes. He probably feel like he know me better than anybody. Most people. That's what he thinks anyway. Okay. So that would be a good conversation with the shit that you asked, because he's probably wrong, but he think he do. Mo, you know how we do it Another Week in the Books, man. Before we get into our overall topic, which is patience this week, man. Can't wait to see what your thought process was when we get deeper into that. There's some things that happened that we're going to talk about. I want your perspective on as well. It's a little sidebar stuff. First, Idris Elba. He has a brand new show on Apple Plus. It's called Hijack. Fire. That was my put on for On Deck. If you guys haven't watched it, go check that out. It's on Apple Plus. You'll be enjoying that. It's 3 episodes in. I think it's a 7-episode limited series, so you ain't got to invest a lot of time in it. I saw an article that I was interested in. Wait, before we go there, Mo, you got something. I got that deep into it. I see something on the top of that. You want to get to that, or you want to do it next?
Oh, we can do it next. You laying this out proper right
I
now.
was cooking, really. Yeah,
You really was though.
I'm
Like,
sorry,
yeah, you got to go
bad.
ahead, flip the dogs, bro.
All right. So what Idris Elba said was there was a long time, there was a lot of scuttlebutt out there in the streets about, hey man, Idris Elba is gonna play James Bond. He's cool, he's black, he's sexy, pause. As far as the women call him, like he's regal, like he's the perfect James Bond. There's only one problem, Mo. Can you guess what that is?
He's British.
You're a nigga. He's a nigga. You are black, Idris Elba, in case you forgot. We talked about before some comments that he had about being black, because I thought this was really ironic in him saying that he stopped pursuing the role of James Bond because of the criticism that he was receiving from people who didn't think that James Bond should be black. So my question to you from that, Mo, is, would you let racism deter you from something that you wanted to do if you didn't feel like it would be received well?
That's a great question. I don't think that I would let it detour me from thinking it wouldn't be received well. I think I would let it detour me if it starts to become real hurtful to my soul, where it's like, dang, like people are, because these celebs, people make threats all the time. Of course, it ain't gonna happen, but it's like once you get past all the so to speak little people that are just in a comment section, and you start getting to actual media places that are kind of like low key dogging you, then it's just it can be discouraging. You know what I'm saying? Like we do this podcast, and I'm just you've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this a long time. And some things are good for business and some things are bad for business. And I'm not saying, I think this would have been a great look for him. But again, I don't know what he's seen or what specifically stuck that made him say, you know what, I'm just going to fall back on it. But I wouldn't let racism detour me from doing, I wouldn't play no black Superman or nothing though, but like James Bond is like right up there. I think they should have did that over Little Mermaid, to be honest.
The black Superman, I think I will never understand. I guess it's a comic book thing for you, but Animal Brown says the same thing. And another nigga that I know that's deep into Marvel says the same thing, that there shouldn't be a black Superman. And I, for the life of me, do not understand what y'all mean when y'all say that.
Superman's corny.
But why couldn't he be black?
Black men ain't corny. I'm throwing this in the bag with black men don't cheat. Why they just say that? I'm throwing this right in there.
So there's no logical explanation.
Yeah, no logic. Black men ain't corny. Like that's it. So
if they, before I get to Idris Elba,
yeah,
if they redid Superman and he was black, he came from the same planet, same bullshit with kryptonite, whatever it may be, but instead of the farm in Indiana, it was the hood in fucking New Orleans. And this nigga like grew up in the Third Ward and all of this shit. Like, you wouldn't fuck with Superman? Like, you wouldn't fuck with that story of Superman?
I mean, for me, keep the story. Just keep if you're gonna do it, just keep the story the same.
I don't understand.
I don't because I don't care.
I cannot wrap my mind around why people say that.
I'm tired. No, I'm good with black, swapping out the black for heroes. It's just for me with the Superman thing. Superman's not really that interesting. He doesn't have his origin story is not really that dope. That's why I feel like the movie's never done really that well. The games have been okay. It just doesn't ever do well because I think he doesn't have the
interest. White. If he was black, it'd be different.
You're probably right.
All of these superpowers and was black and still had to deal with the shit that black men have to deal with and couldn't nothing fuck him up, but still had to go through it.
Luke Cage, there it was. That was black Superman right there, Luke Cage.
He was like, he had powers like Superman. He couldn't fly.
He couldn't fly, but he couldn't be killed. He really couldn't be killed, though.
They scared to let a black man be the ultimate badass.
Right.
They don't want they don't even want y'all to think like
don't even get that in your head.
Don't y'all niggas don't even get it twisted. Niggas
don't deny it again.
Superman, right. I don't like that, but we'll visit that later. Getting back to Idris Elba, for me, if it was violence, then I get it. If my family is threatened and people are saying, man, I'm gonna kill you and your family because you want to be the first black James Bond, then I get it. I may back out if I felt that those threats were real. But I wouldn't turn down the opportunity like this because I didn't like what people were saying online. Fuck those people, bro.
Yeah.
It's people that don't like Stringer Bell. Like, you're not gonna denounce that character that you played in The Wire.
Yeah.
If I was able, like, James Bond is a recognizable figure throughout the world. That means something totally different for his career, which has been great to this point. But it could be even bigger and have a bigger notch on it if you're playing fucking James Bond. And he got the credentials to do so, and he got the makeup and the set to do so. But the reason that I would say, no, I don't want to do it because people don't want him to be black. I don't fuck with that. I don't think that's cool. I would have never came out and even said that. But that's the reason that he turned it down. He saw people saying that they didn't want a black James Bond. James Bond is not black. Why would you want to play the role of James Bond? He let that deter him from pursuing the role even further. They were in preliminary talks of him taking over the role from Pierce Bronson and whatever the other nigga name is that played him before him.
Yeah, the classic
James Connery or whatever this fuck his name.
Yeah, James Conner.
One of those dudes. Yeah,
some famous old classic white actor.
Famous old white dude that are famous forever that I shouldn't even know they fucking names, but they played James Bond and they've went down in American history. Sean Connery. So what's wrong with a black man playing that? And why would a black man be like, nah, because they're saying stuff online or I'm seeing stuff out in the street. I'm going to let that deter me from being the best person that I could be. Nah, I don't rock with that at all.
I think, man, that's the crazy thing because I think it'll work. Plus, he has the British accent, everything.
Yeah,
like,
that nigga would have
he's
that
tall.
Shit, nigga.
He has the whole package.
Fit all the criteria.
Like, he really black. He really do, bro. Like, to me,
he's black.
I don't even feel like I can't even lie, bro. I don't even feel like this is a force. Like the little mermaid.
Perfectly.
It works perfect.
Than him being black, bro.
That's what I'm like. But even then, it's like, bro, he's not. And I don't want to divide us. So let me please listen. If we have British black, African black, other blacks that are not U.S. black. I don't know. This is just the way we black everywhere. So if you're not, necessarily U.S. black, but I don't want to divide us. But he's not even like Crenshaw black. You know what I'm saying? Or like black. New York black. He's British black. So it's like, bro,
he ain't American black. Nigga.
Yeah, he's like Obama black.
Between American black and every other
Obama black.
Yes, yeah,
pretty much. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, come on. You know what I mean? Let them get that. I don't see why that doesn't work. I think, like I said, I'm not trying to.
Well, people gonna hate and be prejudiced regardless. So
yeah, that's gonna be that. But
I'm not even as hung up on that fact of, oh man, he shouldn't be black. Because with Superman, I do feel that way. Like, if you guys are saying that he shouldn't be black, I'm hung up on the fact that, well, why would people even say that? With this James Bond shit, I don't even care why people saying that he shouldn't be black. My bigger problem is, like, bro, you had the opportunity in your hand, but you're telling us because of what people are saying, because of some shit that you read, and it's not worth it to me. And that's crazy. That's insane to me.
Okay, so let's move further into it then. Let's go away from that. What do you think his challenge is? Because we talked about him a few weeks back. This was a part of it, and how he didn't want to be recognized as a black actor, but just an actor. That's a conversation we had. Yeah. What do you think is his hang up? I mean, he's been in a Tyler Perry film. That's as black as it gets. What? That he's black,
he's not
British,
American black. Yes, you don't have the same struggles and the same goals that we would have as American blacks. And it's people can try to relate to us as much as they want, and they can take this as being divisive as they want to, but I still stand on it. Like, there's a different experience for black people that grow up in America from black people that grow up in the UK or Caribbean black people or black people that grow up in Africa. Regardless of if you didn't grow up in America with other black people raised in a black lifestyle, then you just don't understand it. I think that black people from America are totally different, and other groups of black people don't understand that, and they try to shun American black people for that. All you guys should just get over slavery. All you guys should just do that. Why are you asking for reparations, wanting the white man to give you stuff like that? They don't understand while you and I aren't slaves, of course, we weren't affected by slavery. In the larger sense of the word, there is as we talked about, when you travel and you get to go to different places and you feel that pressure being lifted off your shoulders, there is that pressure that American Black people deal with on a daily basis, their whole lives growing up in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Like that can't be denied. It don't matter how rich you are. It don't matter any of those things. At some point in time, you're going to be regarded as a nigger just because of the way you grew up. And I'm not sure that it's the same way in the UK or in the Caribbean or in Africa, where there's predominantly more Black people.
Yeah.
Only Black people in America have this experience that Black Americans have. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron and really simple and dumb to say, but it's true. When you start to have conversations with people and you get to know, like, well, what are you judging that on? What are that based off of? Where do your beliefs come from? Like just today, I was having conversations with a brother. He's first generation American, as to where he was born here in Atlanta. His parents are from Africa. They came from there. And I said, well, what's your perception of Black Americans? And he thought about it. And he's a thought out dude. So he was trying to figure out what my angle was and asking me that. And my angle in asking me that was, did he even have a perception of Black Americans outside of his culture? Because you grew up here too. So for you not to consider yourself a Black American and still consider yourself, I'm from Africa and my family's from Africa, and look at us differently, that speaks volumes into itself. So he started to talk about it. Well, I see y'all as this and y'all. I let him talk. And I said, you see what I'm saying? You have a perception of what you think Black people in America should be like. Even though you grew up here, you still have your like family, your mom, your dad, the people that grew up in Africa that are instilling and more influential than what you've seen here. So now you make judgment on Black Americans, or they may be lazy, or they may be this, or they may be that. They don't try as hard, or they have things given to them, or they expect this because they're Americans, and just the whole thing. So even, and as we started to have our conversation, he started to get where I was coming from and saying, well, I guess what you're right. Because I do have a perception of Black Americans, and I discount myself from that perception. I don't look at myself like you. Well, nigga, you grew up in Atlanta. How do you not look at yourself? How do you not look at yourself like that?
That's crazy. It is. So you're absolutely right. And I think that is the hang up for Idris. You know, me and my wife, we just hit the hibachi spot. Food was good.
You didn't catch no shrimp, did you? You ain't throw you no shrimp.
Nah, he tried to give me something on the plate, and he forgot. Oh, I'm sorry, vegetarian. I was like, yeah, you know. But so the hibachi spot, you forget that when you go in there, if you're not with a full 8, you know what I mean, full 8 or full 10, however, you're gonna sit with with other people. We go in there, we in a section, ain't nothing, not one Black couple, Black person. We sit there, and now you got to get into your own Black bubble. These are the challenges that we have that people don't understand. So now me and my wife can't be just in a full comfort zone of, oh, it's just, you know, like our norm, like, oh, we just out and about, we had our own little table. Now that we're at this table full of other people, you know, other ethnic, really white people, now we have to take on a role to comfort one another now. Because we're Black.
You my Black person in the room.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so now we're not even really being the full organic version, because we got a duty now to be that Black person. I'm protecting
you protecting me. Yeah, I can't even really pay attention.
You see what I'm saying? These are
what
things
I want to take in. Yeah.
These are the layers that people do not understand. And it's like, well, why you got to feel that way? These guys, they wasn't bothered by these white people. They were just there. But you don't understand. There's a ratio of these people that don't like us. There's a ratio of these people who don't understand us. And then there's just a ratio of these people that don't look at us as equals. But it's like, I don't hate you. I don't not like you. I just don't think you're, you know what I mean? So it's like
disregard you.
It's disregard. And then there's that small percent they say, man, I think everybody's equal. I don't get their problem. But you don't know that, you know what I'm saying? So you go in there, and then, you know, my wife, she has, you know, her nails done, beautiful. And so then now you're self-conscious. I'm like, oh, your nails are so nice, they're so beautiful, they're this and that. But now, I don't know if she felt this way, but now me, subconsciously, wait a minute, are they really complimenting you?
She's trying to be funny.
Or you, see? This is funny. These are the Black and one last thing, I'll move on, I promise. But because you really touched me with what you were saying. And then lastly, my wife was like, "Yeah, this white woman kept looking over your way, like," and then she had this concerned look, and then her husband was looking at you with this concerned look, and I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" She's like, "I don't know." So I looked at them back. I have no idea because I was in the black bubble. The minute I knew we was dolo, I'm not looking for any of y'all. I may kind of glance quick and then come back and look back down at my food. Glance quick, look down at my food because I'm not going to lock eyes. We already talked about like reactionary and trusting your reaction stuff, but like just to say all that to say is like that's something small. Just going to get a bite to eat, not understanding like that's the black experience. Just one thing, going to eat somewhere where it's not really none of y'all. So it's like he can. If you don't understand that, I mean, you got a tough road ahead, bro. But Idris, bro, you've been over here too long, bro. You didn't been too many of these black roles. You didn't been around rappers. You didn't been around, bro. Like, come on. He's been indoctrinized. Yeah. Like, come on.
A nigga willing to play a drug dealer in Baltimore, but not willing to play like 007 spy. Like that's fucking crazy to me.
He was James Bond in Takers. That's why.
Was he? I ain't seen Takers.
Nah, Takers, the T.I. movie. That was a T.I. movie. Yeah. Nah, he wasn't James Bond, but yeah, it was a good movie for what it was. Yeah.
Idris Elba, man, relax. Next, this should be fun, Mo. I've wanted to know. I had got this over to you when it popped off. I wanted to know what you would think as a married man. KeKe Palmer, were you familiar with her?
Absolutely.
I like KeKe Palmer. She's cool. She got a good vibe. I like.
She got a good vibe. She got that vibe. Was a girl
I
would
want to be friends with her. Yeah, I would want to be friends with her. Like she ain't even one of them chicks that you look at as a man and be like, God, she don't know what I'd do to her. It ain't even that. It's just like, she cool. Like this is the home.
You think about it once.
You would now, especially.
That was like, hey, we're gonna be real. It'll be once, but then once you realize you're in the friend zone,
that's the homie.
That's the homie.
Yeah, that's the homie. I ain't even got no problem with this being the homie.
Yeah,
I fuck with KeKe Palmer. I say that to say, Usher is wrapping up his residency in Vegas. All right. So the last couple of shows happened over the weekend. KeKe Palmer was there with her homegirls. Red flag number one in Spike Lee's opinion, and we'll get into this.
I like it.
Yeah, with her homegirls, right? At the Usher show in Vegas that ain't gonna be there forever, and people are telling the best show, but she's married and has a husband, but she there with her homegirls. We're gonna move past that.
Okay.
She there with her homegirls. Usher walks up to her as any normal man would, recognizes KeKe Palmer. She's a presence in black culture. He sees her. He's singing, "There Goes My Baby." And, he stands her up, do the little 360, little turnaround. She got on the see-through joint that the chicks is wearing nowadays. Cheeks is out. Cheeks is out, Mo. married woman just had kids. Cheeks is out. Now, after this clip came out, KeKe Palmer, I don't even know if she's married. I said that wrong. Her baby daddy, the nigga that she's dating, the father of her kids, he took to Twitter. He said, "Damn, man. A mom. That's a mom right there, y'all looking at dancing with Usher with her cheeks out like that."
He said, "That's a mom.
That's a mom y'all looking at, bro." He said, "That's a mom. That's somebody's mom that y'all looking at."
Wow.
We had conversations, me and her, about the outfit before she left the crib, but she obviously didn't listen and when it rocked it anyway. Now she dancing with Usher, and I feel some type of way.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run to Twitter. I'm gonna let the tweet streets know that my baby mama, wife, if they married, I don't like the dress she had on, and she was dancing with Usher, and I ain't like how that nigga was looking at her. So rightfully so, Twitter dug him a new asshole, as he should have got. But I wanted your perspective as a married man on your wife maybe wearing scantily clad clothing or maybe even dancing with Usher. As a husband, a confident husband, which I'm sure you are, Mo, how would you have taken this?
Saying that is somebody's mom.
Did you see the clips first?
Yes, I did. Yes, I seen the clips. All right. So there's a few things. Now, being married for years, my observation level has grown tremendously because when you're with a woman, is going to grow because they always catch things you ain't catching. So now my observation level is even more stronger than it was before. So when I looked at the video, Usher, there's a couple things that he did. There was no foul play to me when it comes to Usher.
Okay, get into it.
Usher,
because I showed this to a couple other married men. They said the same thing. So I'd like to hear this. Y'all on the same page.
So I looked at Usher when he grabbed it for the hug. Comfortable space above the cheeks. Comfortable.
Exact same rhetoric that I got earlier when I showed it. Somebody said, man, his hand above our ass.
And secondly, I kind of looked at where the leg was. He kind of had a little bit of that right leg in front. So that's kind of that protective guard where it's like, I ain't on nothing. Like I'm being
trying to put my dick on your girl.
I'm not. Don't even think there's some subtle little rub going on. There ain't nothing going on. And then lastly, when he kind of backed up, she kind of turned around. He wasn't even smiling or even giving a flirt like fake, like I see you, girl. He kind of let it marinate, and then he came back. He's like, KeKe Palmer, y'all, kept it professional fully. So Usher is a world-class act. And let's not even.
I do this.
Yes.
Don't get this shit
don't
twisted.
Forget, and
I ain't up here trying to get no cheap feels. It don't matter who it is. I do this shit.
Yes. And we got to remember, too, for context, KeKe Palmer has had some choice words about Trey Songz in the past. And many other people have too, as far as like aggressive play with. So I'd imagine that's an importance when they used to rock, us Trey. So I imagine like I want to make sure you feel really comfortable, and I'm not here for that. And that's just us. Like he's not doing that now. Taking it over to KeKe Palmer. Here's the challenge, bro. I talked about earlier, not knowing where you at.
Okay.
This is where it all came from too. You just had a child. You're going through this, and
best your body's ever looked in your life.
The best your body's look, but KeKe Palmer, she comes off as a person that struggles a little bit with confidence.
I would accept that.
I think she has moments because she's had just some.
I could see that
difficulties with skin. Like she spoke on it. She showed people. So I feel like from a foundation standpoint, I'm putting out the cheeks, I'm putting on the mesh, I'm putting on the stuff because I hate to say this is not the route to go. I'm gonna get to that point.
Validation.
But I need this validation. It's unfortunate, but I need those eyes. I need those eyes to feel better about myself as a woman right now. I need those eyes to know I still got it, though I had a child. I need those eyes. And so that's where I believe she's coming from. Now, if she's my wife, there's not a there's not a conversation. There's not even a moment you think you're going to leave and go out there like that. If you think you're going to do that after we've had a conversation to be dressed that way, what are you saying to me? There's other ways. She could have wore so many other things and got this off still. She's got a figure, so you could have wore a body type dress, got it off. Skirt, dress, got it off. You didn't have to put so much, like you're barely covered, and you're not at the beach. There's so many other things you could have done, choices. Still get the eyes that you're looking for, but instead you go for the maximum. Who am I? Go ahead,
Luca. Her husband, you're asking that question. Who am I?
Like if the baby daddy, I don't know what that is. I mean, I can't.
Whatever that nigga is.
It's been a long time since I've been a boyfriend.
Let's talk about. Okay, let's take it off that lame ass nigga, and let's put it on to a more respectable man in yourself, right?
Okay.
Because I got questions. And I don't respect that nigga, so I respect you. So I'm gonna ask you. Right?
Okay.
I was with you until you said we have the conversation, and I don't agree with it. So why would you wear it? Right? Because before that, you led it up to you might need that validation. Who knows what you went through during pregnancy, post-pregnancy? Who knows, even if it's outside of me as your man, your boyfriend, your husband, even if it's outside of me being like, baby, you look beautiful.
Yeah.
If she comes to me and be like, you know what, Usher, July 4th, and I'm wearing this, nigga. What do you think? And I'm saying, like, you really wearing that? That's what you gonna rock with? And she like, yeah, baby, this is what I feel like. This is what I need to wear to this. It's like the Usher concert. I gotta step out. Me, Spike Lou, hands up. You got it. You cool, whatever it may be. Now, the first red flag that I said, though, Usher show, this nigga putting on a hell of a show. I ain't even got to be a fan of Usher. Even before my girl tell me she wearing the sheer shit with the butt cheeks out, I want to go.
Okay.
Even if it's one song. So the first red flag is, my nigga, you should have been there.
Okay.
And that's the reason that I sent you the other clip with Joe Budden in there and his chick and Usher doing the same thing and serenading her. Joe Budden was sitting right there, shook Usher's hand before she went into all that shit.
Yeah.
Firm handshake. Hey, I'm right here, my nigga. I know my bitch thick. Don't get too googly eyed. Don't do none of that because it can go left in here. Yeah. I'm still a man. I'm still a man, right?
Okay.
That's the presence you get to implement when you're there. You're doing stuff with your lady. You ain't got to like to do it. It ain't got to be number one on your list, but still, hey, my girl want to go out, feel good, feel confident, dance, have a good time. I'm going to go with her. I may enjoy one or two songs, but that's cool. She want me to come with her as her man. I'm going to be there. You and I talked about this a little bit off screen. It's like, how much do you like the person that you're with? Because if my girl is telling me, now get it in the way you said, oh, I want to rock the sheer joint. I'm going to have the thongs on. My ass going to be fat. Like, you really got to rock that? You cool? That's what you got to rock. I might not be all right with you. Like, well, baby, this is what it's going to make me feel confident. You know what? I'm good. You can wear it. And I'm not even giving you permission. I'm just telling you as your man, I don't have a problem with it because you can wear it whether I say yes or no. And that don't matter to me. I'm not that type of overbearing dude. Yeah. So when I say it depends on how much or not you like the person that you're dealing with, and you and I talked about people just being in relationships just to be in them and not even really fucking liking the person that you're dealing with, bro. If I like someone, if we're in love, like, yeah, you can wear that. I don't care. If it makes you feel happy and that's what you need to wear to get off, cool. I'm going to be supportive of it. It ain't detrimental to me in any way. All it is like we try to make this thing about being provocative and things of this nature. Oh, well, what if a dude tries her or whatever it may be? Then we'll deal with that when it comes. But if my woman is telling me that this is what I want to do, I feel this is going to make me feel good, go with it. I'm going to support you because that's what I'm standing here. That's why I'm your man.
Right. But
I ain't here to question you. I ain't here to go on Twitter and be like, oh, well, man, she shouldn't be wearing that. She's a mom.
Yeah, he bugging. But here's the thing, though, Spike. Like, let's get into it. There's certain things that are, when you're in a marriage or a long relationship, you can't tell one another what to do, what not to do. That's true. That's no matter what, because you're individuals, even though you're collective. However, there's an understanding on when certain things are said that you kind of got to perk your ears up and be like, okay, this is something I got to listen to him on, or this is something I got to listen to her on. You just know when those things come. So for me, it's like, I understand you want to do that, but it's like, have some respect for me.
Mo.
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah,
so
bro.
where's the lack of respect for you?
You are somebody's mother.
Stop it, bro. You better than that. You better than that. You're better than that, Maurice.
But you are my wife, and I know.
Where's the lack of respect for you come in at though?
Because you are my guarded jewel.
Okay.
You are my guarded jewel, and men are going to be men.
Okay.
You're going to be attractive, and you're going to have, no matter what, men, if men get, the men that I'm speaking to that like, really like, why you wearing that? Those men they're going to have a problem with whatever that she going to wear. I'm not that person, but however, it's just like, there's levels to it. And the level you took it to is the level like, I'm not with someone. I don't have something at home.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, but that is what it is, though, because
it's represents how do you bathing suit, bro? Like you're telling me your wife can't wear a thong?
What's the occasion though? You're with your
Usher concert in Vegas.
This
is a once in a lifetime thing.
Okay, but you can't get your sexy on without showing that much though.
Why is that a problem? Get your sexy on to the fullest extent that you want to, because
Now,
I
get your
have
sexy
trust.
on at
I
home
have
like
trust
that.
in you as my woman that it's not gonna go too far. And if there are any problems, I'm gonna pull up.
But that,
Like, yeah, I'm like that's the end of it.
nah, bro. See, this is that authority thing, but it's always that. I always know it's come back to, but
You always try to blame it.
no, but well, because I know what it is, because you
I
know
don't like
you
no, yeah, you know, I don't
well,
like
because
no
you like that
limits,
more
no
so. Like
boundaries.
I'm not. You know, you say for one, you're not gonna tell me what to do. For two, I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
Facts,
For three,
facts,
I'm not gonna convince you of
facts,
anything. So I know
facts.
your stance. So it's all
All of that's
lines up.
facts.
So I know why
All
you
that's
like. Look,
facts.
you gonna do. But for me, it's like, nah. Sometimes you gotta put your foot down at moments. Like these are moments. It's like, okay, it's small to the rest of the world, but if we got an understanding, and this, this bothers me, respect that. Because if I go and do something like, hey, you're a little too friendly when you're doing, it's like, what, I'm paying for my stuff with the cashier, but you're a little too friendly. I don't like how you make those little corny jokes.
Mm-hmm.
What? But it's not, I'm not doing nothing, but I don't like that. It's to
Okay.
me, it's like and this is me, like you said, we talked about our own, like to me, it's like I have a lot of leeway for where you could take it. You got the split over here, the double split on the dress, the high up, where you can't even really. But when you're
Booty
going,
out.
yeah, but when you're going all the way where you're, and then you're like flaunting and showing it, it's just, to me, you're, be my respectable wife, because I sure want to be your respectable husband. How when I'm outside, when I present myself. Period. That's how I look at it, bro. It's like your
I
mom
don't
used
know,
to tell you,
man.
act like you
I
got
just
some
can't get
sense.
to
Like
it. I can't get to that place though, because one, this is entertainment, right? If I'm married to KeKe Palmer,
what is
I don't know. I don't know who this nigga is. I don't know his name. I don't know this
Yeah.
nigga. Other people online, they seem to know this nigga from somewhere. I don't know what he famous for, other than being her boyfriend, husband, baby daddy, who the fuck this nigga is. I gotta respect the field and what you do too. Like that plays into it, and a lot of people not talking about that, bro. Like I showed you the clip of the Joe Budden when his girl is out there. I don't know Joe Budden's girl name. I've never seen her. I've 2 or 3 times.
I didn't even know that was him.
Yeah, that was Joe Budden. That was his girl. And on the other picture that I showed you, the thick chick, right? So I just wanted to give 2 different scenarios of how it happened.
Yeah.
I'm KeKe Palmer's husband. There are things that I have to accept with what she does. Just like if a girl was married to me and she's like, well, I don't like you talking about whatever it may be on podcasts in front of, bitch, relax. Like you got to respect what I do. And the same thing with KeKe Palmer, bro. She's an entertainer. This is one of the biggest shows in our culture that Vegas has had, is this residency for Usher. So for him to come up to her, be spinning her around, her looking amazing in that dress, butt cheeks out, making this a moment. Why am I, as her husband, going to be her biggest hater and be like, that's a mom? I'm letting her shine, bro. Like there's nothing that, like, that's her field. She does this. She's in entertainment. Even if I'm sitting at home and it did look a little close to me, or if it did look a little intimate, more intimate than I would have liked, you know what? I will see you when you pull back up.
That part. That's, yeah, I'm here with now. That I'm totally, we gonna have a conversation. If she's in it, and yeah, you're right. It's different when it comes to entertainment. That's why for me, I wouldn't even have been with somebody in that space, because if you're telling me I gotta chalk that up, and I'm not,
you gotta chalk that up. You gotta chalk that up.
And you're right in that space, but
real niggas chalk that up. Lame niggas can go to Twitter and, oh baby, I don't want you to do that. It all depends. Real nigga gotta chalk that up.
Yeah, but it all depends on what you signed up for too. You know what I'm saying? If you signed up
for being KeKe Palmer's baby daddy,
and that's why I'm like, I understand that. I'm just talking about in general when we taking this from, us, we deal with the regulars, the day-to-days, our bookworms. When we talking about those people, this is what I'm speaking more towards. Like you married, or you got a girl and she actually got it going on and she's going out with the girls type situation or whatever. But I mean, nonetheless, I mean, we love you, KeKe Palmer, and it's good to see your mental health doing better, and congratulations on the child and all that good stuff. But yeah, just dude,
before we move on.
Oh, Yeah, I did want to say something else. If I hope you're going into what you're saying, I want to say this about the dude. Like, man, again, me and Spike talk about this. Like, this extra sassiness, this extra softness, this weak, like, man, y'all got to toughen up, bro. And I promise you, I am not the tough guy. I am not the tough guy.
You ain't even speaking in the sense of fighting. And
yeah, but it's like there's just certain
like,
men
have
attributes.
Some respect for yourself.
Have some respect for yourself. Go ahead, bro. I mean, because I'm gonna go on a rant. I feel it coming. I feel the rant coming, bro. Because I'm tired of this, man.
I think even what you said with like regular dudes, though, taking it off of KeKe Palmer, this dude, you gotta like the person that you with, bro, and you have to understand, like, hey, if this is something that gives them joy, how lenient can I be on this? Yes, and when I mean how lenient, like, you ain't gotta be like a pushover, you ain't gotta be a stepmat, but I still can be supportive of what my partner wants to do without feeling like I got shitted on or that they're doing too much. Mm-hmm. The simple conversations that can be had. And that was the basis of this lack of communication, where this nigga felt like, in order for my wife to feel the brunt of how mad I am, in order for her to really understand that I didn't fuck with this because we had a conversation, she went and did it anyway. She danced with the nigga anyway, even though I might not have liked that. So what I do is I go to Twitter and I put my tweet fingers together and say, oh, this is a mom and this, that, and the third. And I get drugged because of that. Now my relationship is being judged amongst 300 million people who don't know me, who don't know her, and they're just going off shit that they've seen in clips and a tweet that I posted. In order to avoid that, you gotta be confident in the person that you're dealing with, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like it has to be something where, like, no, I fuck with this person. And even though I may not fuck with them, going out in the sheer dress with the thong on, and that may not be me, I'm going to support it because that makes them feel good. And whatever backlash comes with that, I'm going to fight that with them because, you know what? That's my person. I ain't going to go against them. I ain't going to try to get people to say, oh, you were wrong. I'm going to stand right here in the corner, and me and you going to fight all of these demons together or whatever may come from it, because you know what? I support you and I fuck with you. Yeah. It ain't enough of that in our community where people are like, nah, this person right here, I fuck with them. I ain't letting you go in on them. I ain't backing away from them. I ain't going to Twitter to shit on them. I ain't trying to embarrass them. I fuck with them. Yeah, it ain't enough I fuck with you relationships in our community.
It is, and it's like, stop being scared to be embarrassed.
Be that person to say I fuck with you.
Like
it ain't even embarrassing. It's just like, I fuck with you.
But there's
it takes away from being embarrassing when that person feels the same way. Now, if you overexerting yourself, then you need to step back and evaluate. Like, if you fuck with somebody that don't fuck with you like that, but if there's somebody on the other end who KeKe Palmer has definitely not represented that she is, she seemed like a perfect stand-up lady. Yeah. If you got somebody like that, and this is like, they want to go out in the sheer dress with the thong on and have their cheeks out, cool.
Yeah.
My nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So.
No, I hear you. I just, and only the embarrassing thing I'm just speaking to is just, it's not that she's embarrassing you intentionally. She's having a good time. It's caught on camera. But it's like I remember, bro, when we were engaged and we were getting close to our wedding, my boys took me out for a bachelor night. Sorry, bros, it wasn't it. Like, that stuff always happens to me. Like, that's why I don't do big stuff, because I always, But my wife, however, when she was out with her girls, they did it big.
I could imagine how your bachelor night went, bro.
Yeah.
You probably wish you had the Bible out and everything. Nigga.
I wasn't that guy at all the time. Trust me. They got footage of me at the club.
Nigga Mo had the Bible.
Like, all right, we're going to turn to Ephesians 35. That's hilarious. But like, I came home, and I guess the girls went out and stuff, but I came home, the whole house was a mess. I mean, we talking, toy dildos and all kind of crazy stuff. I clearly knew they had a great time. And I was so mad. Crazy. I was so mad, bro. Like, and I remember and my father-in-law, he had to talk me off the ledge because I was just like, what you doing? They got these men over here and they stripping and dancing and this and that, forgetting the whole element of bro, it's a bachelorette night. It's supposed to be like that. I was a young, insecure man at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like, what? We supposed to be getting married, and that's where I was. But again, we talk about not knowing where you were. Now I know where I was. So it's like this dude, like he's venting out here to save face where he thinks he can because that's public. So I'm gonna go public. But it's just like, nah, bro. You know, Drake got this line on Stay Scheming. She want to tell me secrets about a rap nigga. I tell her it's more attractive when you hold it down.
You hold it down.
When I always love that line. It's more attractive when you hold it down. So it's like, bro, you got her. You won already.
Even with that, man, I don't like when people, and we're going to get into this. This is the perfect segue.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when people give in to peer pressure. And that has to do with patience.
Mm-hmm.
I see my girl out here doing this, and my homeboy said, man, you see a girl with Usher? Like, she had the cheeks out and everything. Like, bro, yes, I seen her. My text to her, like, did you enjoy yourself? Cool. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent of it, bro. I gotta take the heat or joke with my niggas about it, whatever it may be. But if that's my person, if that's genuinely the person that I fuck with and want to spend the rest of my life with, then it's cool, bro. Like, you got it off. You wore the thing that you wanted to wear. You had a fun night. Like, one of the best R&B singers ever in the history of singing serenaded you. He made you feel wonderful. Like, I can't do that because I'm not Usher and I don't sing those songs. I'm glad you had a fucking good time. That's it.
Because you're right, because you're missing the perspective. Because, bro, and you're doing all that.
It's Usher.
You're coming home.
It ain't some random nigga, right?
This is Usher,
and this is my girl.
My girl.
I can get her to wear that for me and dance.
And she coming back home, though.
I can bend her over in that. Like, I'm getting the real deal from it. This
I'll
nigga
see
just
you later.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
Everybody
like, niggas are crazy.
Yeah, you're right. But our perspective is wrong, and then we haven't had men to build us up in that quiet male confidence.
Like, we haven't had men to build us up in the confidence
because we don't know that like quiet male confidence.
Feel like they got to be sensational. Yeah,
but guess what we was
jump out on Twitter.
We was built up with that woman defending brashness. Most of us grew up that way. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where you see these young men kind of acted that way because you didn't get that quiet men confidence, knowing you holding it down, knowing that you got the win already. It's yours. You know what I'm saying? So, but this week, man, I know we can go.
That was a good topic, man.
That was great. But this week we talking patience, man. We've alluded to this in a few episodes. Y'all gonna start seeing some crossover and more layered episodes because a lot of these conversations tie into the other thing, but this week we're talking about patience.
Other thing.
And I think about patience.
How'd you come up with this? How'd you come up with patience?
Well, really just simple, just I don't talk forever here, but just like, you know, we're pregnant and we're in the process of looking for a home and like things are happening fast but slow. And I imagine that's how everybody's life feels. They feel like things are kind of happening fast, but then yet slow. And so what really drew me to this is just kind of the concept of how to be patient. And even thinking about our show, think about the success and thinking about growth, thinking about timing, all these things that you think about on your come up, on your rise, trying to do things. And it's like you're trying to go 100 miles an hour, but the outcome doesn't necessarily go as fast as the labor. So that's what made me think about patience. And I wanted to ask you, you've said plenty of times throughout this show that you are impatient. Are you still that way?
This is my Achilles heel. Absolutely. It like if you want to piss me off, if you want me to like get out of character and not, it's Spike Lee, he's a nice guy. Like if you like just make me wait or tell me that something's going to happen and it's 3-4 hours later or a couple of days later, or like you just procrastinate with me and you're not like, I'm the most impatient person. I don't know where it came from. I don't know. I'm working to get over it, but yeah, this is probably one of the biggest hurdles in my life. And a lot of it got to do with what you're saying. Like, even with projects or things that I do with podcasting or things that I do with work, like I expect them to work out immediately. And the trap that I fall into is people will say, "Oh, you're so smart," or "This was such a good idea," and you're thinking, "Well, if this is a good idea and I'm so smart, then as soon as I start working on it, boom! As soon as I put it out, it should work. Like I should have millions of views from it. I should get thousands of dollars. I can quit my job. Like all of these things." And now I'm like, "Well, I thought y'all said I was smart. Like, why am I having to do all of this stuff? Why is it taking so long? Why am I not getting the response that I expected?" And even from there down to a remedial level on like everyday stuff of going to the barber shop, going to get something to eat, like it irritates my soul, bro. Like when stuff takes too long. Like it I don't know what it is. It probably was put into me. I talked about it a little bit in therapy. My mom used to rush a lot when I was younger. Like she used to be like constantly go, 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 go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And my therapist, D, shout out, we had him on the show. He said that probably has something to do with it as far as my mom rushing a lot. But yeah, I am impatient as fuck. I do a good time of hiding it sometimes with people. Like I can almost be like I'll be like twisting. Like I do this little thing with my fingers. I'm like, God, come on, bro. Like, come the fuck on. Like, what are y'all doing? And I'm going through this whole thing in my head. Like, why is this taking so long, bro? Like, what are they doing? Like, are they just getting over on me? Like, do they like all of these things start triggering into my head? I am the most impatient person that I know. But a lot of people really may not realize that because I don't verbalize it. I don't be outwardly like, man, come on, y'all taking too long. It's just an internal thing with me where I'm like, like it's just eating me up inside. This shit is taking so long.
I'm definitely,
like, I'm bad.
I can't wait. I'm gonna when we actually link. I'm gonna find a way to just like subtly do something that's going like tell like, oh, look at him, he get heated. Look at him. My cousins would do stuff like this. When you know they know your button, and so they're gonna do something subtle, but you don't realize.
My friends like that. Yeah, my friends like that too.
Yeah, definitely. Like, hey, hold on, wait, hold on, bro, wait. Just like put the extra weight on this. Like, dude, come on, all right, man, I'm playing. Like,
that's my button pusher right there.
Oh,
I mean, just wait 1 minute, bro. Like I'm waiting on some, like a nigga being like, I'm 10 minutes away. And you 25. Oh my God, that sends me through the roof. Like, bro, what are you doing? You told me 10 minutes, bro. I pulled up 9 minutes ago. I was waiting on you for a full minute, bro. You've been 14 minutes since you got here. That's how shit go in my head. Like I'm like that. Are you impatient like that? Yeah, you can ask what you ask.
I'll tell you why I am impatient. I'm pretty patient. Being a husband will teach you that. You can't, because it doesn't. Your whole pace for life changes.
Yeah, like because somebody else's time,
but
your lady time.
You're on your lady time, but then now our time is in sync, so we're good. Like our timing is pretty much there. But then when you become a father, that is really where the whole time clock and patience change completely. Where
are you on your child's time at that point, or are you still on your lady's time?
Child's time.
Gotcha.
Definitely child's time. And so that has taught me patience. But where I'm impatient is like I'll get impatient about, like you said, like you be like, oh, that's a good idea. It's this. Like I'll get impatient about our show. I just use that as an example. I'm like, bro, this is fire to me. The content is. I'm thinking that because I talk about
us good feedback.
I got the appreciation for the work that create the art, the product. So I'm like, I know I'm doing the work. I'm finding production. I'm finding this. I'm putting this together. Artwork. I'm coming up. I'm doing all this stuff in my head. And I know I'm doing the right, pushing the right buttons. And then you come back and you look at the views and you're just like,
it's the same shit it was last
week. What in the world?
Same shit it was last week.
And then it goes back to, like I told you, that fear, that rejection, feeling like, dang, you ain't who you think you is. Dang, you ain't as good as you. If you was that good, it would have happened by now. If you was that good, like it, and I have to get out of that quick, bro.
Then you start. And
then you have to. Then you put a clock on it. All right, if it ain't by this time, I'm gonna get up out of there. And it's so challenging for me. it's not a challenge. And I wanted to ask, but it's not a challenge for me a day to day. It's a challenge for me in the overall picture. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Like, just because there's so many factors that you don't know. There's no formula to necessarily success. Like, you're trying to do the pieces and parts, but there's no step-by-step place. If I do this, I'll get this. It just doesn't necessarily work that way. And that's where I struggle the most with my patience. You know what I'm saying? Because I utilize a lot of my time for, product or whatever. I'm not even just whatever I create. I utilize a lot of my time. And so, but I try to play advocate in my own mind to keep me grounded. And that's what I wanted to ask you. What is your actual practice like? Because you clearly now you being like high strung on impatience, you have to do something that's keeping you going. Like, especially in this space, podcasting, especially relationships, especially job relationships and work and steady going what is your technique where because there's somebody out there listening like, bro, I am super impatient too, bro. I hate waiting. I hate doing this. Somebody out there listening. So I'm like, what is your day to day? Like, here's how I can try to manage that thing, because I'm going to still be impatient.
I laughed a couple of times when you said it because I was trying to wait till I said this, but weed.
Oh, okay. Weed,
that was my number one answer. Weed.
Number one answer on the board. Survey says
number one answer for patients is marijuana. Absolutely, bro. That helps a lot.
Wow. So tell us, how does it help? What does it do for you specifically? Just as a sidebar.
It helps spread my focus.
Okay.
What I didn't realize about the benefits of weed when I started smoking it is it expands your mind. And until you start smoking, you really won't understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not advocating for people that don't smoke to smoke. Like, the people that do smoke know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I've been there. I know what you mean.
Yeah, like it just occupies your mind in a sense where you're like, damn, I never thought of that. And depending on the strains of the weed and how good it is that you smoke, you get a lot of those I never thought of that moments, and that helps you with your impatience. But with the other things of it, it's trust. Trust has a lot to do with impatience. A lot of the reason, because I'm an only child, because I don't really put too much stake in other people doing stuff for me, a lot of the reason that I'm impatient is that I don't trust that other people would do it efficiently. And that's the reason I'm so anxious about it. Like, it ain't that I know, it's not that I'm waiting. It's not that it takes this long to do it. It's that this person back there doesn't realize how quickly I want this done. They bullshitting, they talking on their phone, they looking at Instagram, they doing all these different things. Those are the things that make me anxious. When people are not considering, hey, I need to make sure that I'm taking time out to do this correctly so this can go as efficiently as possible. Mm-hmm. It's very rarely that you get people that even thinking like that. Mm-hmm. Now, for my mind, like you said, to help ease that, I ask questions. I try to do stuff where it don't take a lot of time to do anyway, where I can get direct access to the person that's helping me out with it. But when I am in those scenarios, what I try to tell myself is, look, this person ain't in the same space or thought process as you. So if they're talking on their phone, if they're asking their manager, if they're doing these different things to make sure it's okay, they're not doing that to deliberately make sure that you're going slower. They're trying to make sure it's right. And that helps me deal with it, because I like for things to be correct also. Not only do I like for them to be done in an efficient manner, like I love for shit to be done like boom, boom, let's get it done. But more so than that, I like it to be right. Like, my nigga, what I asked for, are you giving me that? Okay, perfect. Let's move on. So to try to help calm my head in those situations, like, okay, Lou, it's taking this long because they're trying to get it right. They're trying to make sure that they do the shit that you asked for right. It may be an extensive order. It may be extensive details that you need to get to. They may have to do these different things, ask some another person. So give them the flexibility to be like, well, let me do it right, versus rushing to get it done just because you're impatient. That's what helps me with being impatient.
So it kind of comes down to like rationalizing.
Rationalize, yeah.
You know, because
Like,
you,
you
say
gotta
which,
be,
coming down to
you
which
have
one
to be
matters
a
more,
reasonable
fast or
person.
efficient.
Yeah. The one of the things that irritate me most, you asked this question a couple, like one of the things that irritates me most is people who aren't realistic or don't have a feel of what's going on.
Mm.
The person that comes up, orders from McDonald's, you get your ticket, 2 minutes later, you're like, well, where's my food? Why y'all ain't getting my food? Like, I gotta go to work. Like, bitch, everybody in here got somewhere to be. Why are you more important than everybody else?
Gotcha.
Like, those are the people that irritate me more than being impatient to someone who's not paying attention. They ain't got a real feeling of the area around them. Like, I'm only in my bubble. The only thing that matters is me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps me to with impatience. When people are like, you're like, slow down, bro. Like, they got steps and things that they have to do to make sure this is right.
Okay.
What say you? What about you with impatience? Are you an impatient person?
I'm pretty patient. Because
You're pretty patient. Like, you go to the food spot, you order some food, and 3-4 people get called for you, and you sitting there like, what are you doing next, Mo?
well, I got to rationalize, like you said. So I got to think, okay, they ordered their stuff before, or
okay, what if a nigga came in? That's the classic one, right? You with your girl, because you know your girl gonna say something.
Oh yeah.
You with your wife.
Yeah, boy.
They sit this couple across from you sit down. Did we get in here before them?
Bruh, too many times. Too many times, dog. You hit it on the nose. Yeah, I mean,
Black women, man, we love y'all.
We love y'all, man. We really do.
Did we get in here before them?
Boy.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you want me to do?
What do you want?
You want to go cook in the kitchen?
Man, come on. I'm just like I spoke about it before, but one of the I've said this before, even though the relationship's different now. But like my father-in-law, like there's just certain things he used to say. He's just like one of those people that like Southern and wise and just says simple things that hold tremendous weight. And one of the things he used to say is sometimes you got to sit through some stuff. And that stuck with me forever. I still live by that. When I find myself like, man, come on, are you serious? Come on, bro. This is supposed to. Sometimes you got to sit through some stuff. Like I've been to jail before, and I knew you got to go through the process. It takes forever, but sometimes you got to sit. That's how it is. And that I tell anybody, just realize like it's great when you can get a bunch of green lights. That's a great day. However, that's not realistic. Sometimes you're going to have a yellow, you're going to have a red light, and sometimes you just got to sit through it. That's just how it is. It's okay. What you got to do is compose yourself mentally and come up with something that's going to keep your mind off of the fact that it's taking longer than you prefer. And that's really what I do, bro. Like, but I'm pretty patient about most things because I'm thinking about all of these possibilities like you. Only thing, like I said, is just a success thing, or just like growing something from ground up. And that type of thing, that being a success overnight, 10 years, of 10 years work or 8 years work or 5 years, whatever though. But do you think that most Black people are impatient, or you think we're patient, or is that even?
Yes. Why? A lot of us are impatient. I don't want to do the blanket thing and speak for most Black people and say, oh, well, Black people are like this. But a lot of Black people that I run into are impatient because the resources that are presented to us are not as extensive as they are for other races, aka white people. So we feel like we got to rush to get to the things that are given to us because it ain't that much of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't that much money. Like, y'all niggas, everybody got to rush and do this. It ain't that much money. Y'all niggas got to create a YouTube page, do Amazon stores, and y'all niggas got to do all of this bullshit that requires us to distract our focus from what we really want in order to be able to, I got to make some money immediately versus let me put a plan together. Let me figure out what I want to do that ain't like just the norm YouTube pop-up or side hustle scheme or extra income way to make money. What do I want to do? What can I be good at? What can I be patient at and care enough about that I want to put the work in? It's where like this is going to be good. And because it's good, people are going to buy it versus I'm doing what everybody else said I would do and this will make me money immediately. That's our lack of patience. And it's because of lack of resources. Like all of us ain't well off enough to be like, shit, well, nigga, I can work this job and make enough money that I need.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us are saying, I want to work my job, plus I got to have these side hustles and do these extra things. So if I'm doing a YouTube page, or I'm selling mobile homes or vending machines or all the things that I've seen people present as side hustles, they want that to work a lot quicker than it will work because they need it, because there's a lack of resources. There's a lack of resources of Black professionals in America being like, shit, I make 150,000. I make 200,000. I don't have to do that shit. I don't want to do extra shit to make my money. I'm making it right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not patient enough to be like, I'm going to dig into this career versus I got to do all of these side hustles. They got to work quickly. I got to do them fast so I can make extra money on top of the lackluster career that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Capitalism.
It ties back into that thing is hard. Again, we talked earlier about just being Black. If you didn't grow up U.S. Black, it's different. And so it's crazy you say that, because it goes back to survival. The lifespan that we don't think about, our lifespan is we're going to be here long. We just don't think that way. Even if we got grandparents or, great grand, we don't think of our lifespan that we're going to get old one day, and we just don't think of it like that. We don't listen to music or watch shows that necessarily promote age. So it's always I got it now because I ain't got later. So that's the rush on everything. I got it now. I don't got it later. White people will actually build a plan towards, I'm going to do these things now, and I'm going to be set up for this later.
Right. Or this ain't even for me. This is for my grandkids.
Exactly. This is generational wealth. So I can pace myself. I have a plan versus us. We don't never feel like that because of those things. Because it's unfortunate, because that's why I talked about it before, like trying not to always have the victim mentality. And I don't mean that just walking around, woe is me, but like, it's just hard because a lot of things affect a lot of things. Like because of how we're treated and how things are, it affects the mentality to things. Not just, now the work ethic will work, most of us, but it's just, anyway, that's a sidebar, but yeah, I agree. I think we are impatient because we're in survival mode. We got to have it now. We need our 40 acres.
I want mine right now.
Right now. Like, I want that now.
I want to be rich right now. I want customers right now. I want people to recognize me right now.
Yeah.
Like, we need the right now versus how do I figure out a correct plan?
Yeah.
Map this shit out to where it's going to be beneficial for me for the long term.
And then we look at our generations before, like our parents and grandparents, and we look at it as like they stayed at that job for 40 years. And
they had long-term plans.
They had a long-term plan, but we overlook the message of, consistency, commitment, and them having a plan and thinking long-term to, they tell us one thing, like I didn't really care for it. If I could have did it different, I would have did this. And we'll take that chunk of information and we won't take the other part. That's why I respect. It actually changed my mentality here recently with working, is like,
that's interesting.
You have to go into the job treating it as just today.
Yeah.
Don't,
because you can't depend on it. Shit,
because and I can't think so long, because here's my problem. My problem has been at a job, I'm like thinking so long term because I'm able to see and plan in that form. And so I'm looking at a job, and if I don't see there's a room for progression, get me out of here. You know what I mean? At some point, I know I'm about to be out, or I'm gonna probably end up slacking off because I don't see the end goal of where this could go, because I don't see that possibility. Instead of treating it as a day-to-day and compartmentalizing for this day, once I'm out of there, I am completely out, focus on the dream, focus on the family, on the other things. So it's like what the old school did to work them 40 years and retire, we do need to take on some of that stuff, because they had to compartmentalize in a way mentally and treat each day as that. And when they left work was work. And so, but it's just crazy. It's like we're in a wrap up. Yeah, that's a good wrap. So this is a good start. I mean, it's always so much more to talk about, man. as far as patience. But my last leaving note that I'll just leave here, you're gonna have to have patience, y'all. Like, no matter what y'all see online, how they try to sell you, people are so impatient, they fake the success. That's how impatient people are. They fake their journey, they fake the success because they're not patient enough to actually really achieve it. And so if you really want it, you got to be patient, bro. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no cheat code, ain't no life hacks, ain't no ain't nothing you can change. You're going to have to learn how to have some patience in order to succeed.
Weed is a life hack for patience.
It's a temporary hack for momentarily.
Weed is a life hack for patience, man. AWITB listeners, man. If you're looking for a life hack, sponsors,
This guy.
weed people that got weed, call us. We'll sponsor you and let people know that this is their life hack. Absolutely.
But well, what you got going on before we get out of here, man?
That's a great question. I wanted to say something right here, but I can't remember what it is now.
Okay.
Shit.
Well, while you're thinking,
what do you
about
have going on?
We got our Good Earners that's come out every Monday, man. We're about to wrap up season 2 of the Sopranos, man. We are cooking. We've been getting some good feedback. Somebody just said, man, y'all bodied that like last one, like y'all killed that. Y'all in the bag. So we're doing it, man. Like we're doing it over there, man. Y'all go check it out. A new show for y'all. That's an old show, the Sopranos. So go check that out on Mondays. Roll, the audio drama series. Y'all can go check it out. That's my fiction podcast that I wrote, produced, starred in, acted, all that good stuff, design, all that. Season 4, the final
still
season.
holding out the Spike Lee, like yes, whatever it may be that he needs.
I got a call sheet, man. I got a call sheet.
Holding out on him, on me, bro.
I got a call sheet, man. But now, what you got going on before we get out of here, bro?
We're doing a recap on frames per second for the Apple Plus show Hijack, that stars Idris Elba. After the 7th episode, us and the frames per second guys are going to go over like how the episode was and the whole series and whatnot. That's the next thing that I have coming. Dead End Sports. It's on a break right now. Check back in August when training camp opens for the NFL. We'll be back cracking live, of course, On Deck TV podcast, Good Earners podcast, and this podcast. Make sure you guys are tapping in.
Yes, sir. And remember, this is gonna be on YouTube now. So y'all, I think we're gonna be Saturdays for the YouTube. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna Fridays for the podcast, Saturdays for the YouTube.
I need to send me some more backgrounds, man, so I can get up to your swag.
Oh yeah, man. I'll hook you up, man.
I'll send one I've been using the last 30 years.
Well, man, that's what I said. I tried to. I be trying to sing you. I don't know. I thought you just like sticking to one thing, so I don't be singing. I'm like, all right, well, but I got you, bro. I'll hook you up. I'll find something for you. Just let me know what you're looking for. But yeah, so y'all be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to YouTube channel. It's already officially out now. So this video will be out on Saturday. Podcast will be out by the time y'all already hear this. It's another week in the books.
We out.